Nikki and her boyfriend Chris are being accused of physical abuse as well as smothering and molesting her young daughters. And the accusers are the biological father Michael, Nikki's mother Landia, and her sister Leeann. All of Nikki's children have been taken away over these allegations, and she believes her family has fabricated this entire story. Take a look.
Chris is nothing but a child molesting, low-life SOB. I hate him. I despise him. I believe he molested the babies.
We're here because they're saying I've touched my daughter. They're saying that I'm a bad person, and I'm not. For her to even remotely accuse me of this is ridiculous.
When I heard what my grandbaby said, I was heartbroken.
I feel I'm being tried and convicted without even being able for anybody to hear my side of the story. You know, I'm being accused of touching my daughter. It's just something I wouldn't do. I've never been accused of this before.
One of the babies came to me and she said she didn't want to see her mother no more. Children said that she was molesting them, touching her private area.
I honestly think that her grandmother is coaching her.
Yeah, he's saying I'm making it up, putting the children up to it, and I'm not.
They're saying that I touched my daughter sexually, and that's never happened. They're saying that Nikki has beat the kids. That's never happened.
Nikki, as a mom, she had her moments she could be lovable, but then she had her abusive, neglective side to her. She's mean, she's hateful, she's done a lot of wrong. I've seen her suffocate these children with pillows. I've seen her hit the baby with a hairbrush. I've seen her pull them by the hair to head across one room to another. I've had to cook dinner for these babies. I've had to bathe these babies because she will not bathe them. They're just nasty people.
They're accusing Nikki and I of abusing our kids, and that's not us.
Nikki had control, and she had them removed out the home. And they were better off with us because they were happy. They were on the schedule. They were allowed to play.
She doesn't want us together because the fact I'm 20 years older than her daughter.
When Chris and my daughter got together, I believe she was 18, maybe 19. Chris was like 40, 41. It makes me feel like he is a child molester being with a child that young.
They just don't want us together. They're trying anything and everything they can to split us up, and it's not gonna work.
After she gets Chris out of her life, I would love to see her turn her life around.
Her and I have been together for 4.5, almost 5 years. I'm not going nowhere. Like I said, them are my kids.
These are not Chris's kids, these are Mike's kids. And he still insists he's their daddy, and he wants to be in their lives. And I think he needs to stay away from the children altogether.
The children biologically are not mine, but those are my children. I love them as if they were mine. I'm all they know. You know, I mean, they don't know nobody else as daddy. They know me as daddy. I'm dad, not nobody else. So why would I be a monster and do something like that?
If Chris fails this test, he will get his. He's going to jail.
God's gonna make sure today that everybody sees who the monster is, and it's not me.
Leeann, what is going on?
A lot. It's been overwhelming. We took the kids in for my sister. They were placed with us because of physical abuse. My niece had been hit with a hairbrush in front of my mother, and my mother called me, and I said, you need to call the cops. The cops came out, contacted Child Services, and between the process of the cops being there and my mother making a call to the cops, my sister had smothered the kids with the pillow, made it very...
Who witnessed this?
My mother did. And she said it was the best 3 seconds of her life. Nikki
Your
did.
sister said this about smothering her children. Those were the best 3 seconds of her life.
She did. A couple days after that, Child Services had came out to our home, investigated us in the home. We did.
You all live together?
We do. Nikki was evicted out of the home because of the way she lives. She's very dirty. She's very abusive to everyone in the home, not just children. So she was evicted out by my mom's boyfriend because ultimately it's his home. And she took the kids to another home. 2 days later, Child Protective Services brought the kids back to our home. And they had discovered that what we had said was true. The child had spoke up and told the truth on everything.
What happened a year ago?
One of the children had asked me to change their pool up. They should have been potty broke by that time. And I was going to do it. And I said, wait a minute, did you pee or poop? And she said, I poop. I said, oh no, Granny's gonna do that one. And she said, it's okay, Granny has to be the only one to change it because Daddy touches my cookie.
Meaning Chris.
Meaning Chris, yes. And I looked at my mom and I said, does Nikki know about this? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, what did she do? She said that nothing. And I said, well, where's she at?
All right, let's meet your sister, Nikki.
Oh boy.
How you doing, Nikki? You were on the show before, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And now you're back, and your sister's here, and there's allegations of molestation
Yeah, I know.
against her children, but she says she's witnessed you abuse your children.
They've witnessed a lot of supposedly. Supposedly the story was at first she walked in and seen me smothering my daughter, then now it's this, and then it's
Have you
changed.
ever abused your children?
No.
Have you ever smothered?
No, I have
couple of
not.
them?
I've never. What? Okay, so here's my thing. What do I look like with a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever age, putting a pillow over a child's face?
Look, first off, I'm not a child molester. I would never in my life ever touch a kid.
I didn't say
Sorry
that
for
you
my
did.
French, but yes, you
Exactly.
did. You
I
and your
stated-
mother. I've seen the
I
tape.
stated
I heard what you said.
it very
First of
clearly
all,
that I did not
I'm
know that you did it, and I didn't
I'm
want
not
to
allowed
say that you
names,
did it, but I
I'm
will
gonna tell
go
you.
by what the
I'm
children
gonna tell
tell
you.
me.
By what the children tell you,
By
or
what
by
these
what your mom's
children are
putting in
more
their heads?
important than any
Or
adult
by
or
what
any
your
person on
mom's
this
putting in
world.
their heads.
I'll tell you
Because
that
none
much
of this
right
was
now.
said, Steve.
Neither one of
None
you know
this.
anything about that.
None of this was
Nothing about
said,
the sexual
okay?
allegations about him
until after
until
the fact
my kids
that
were
the kids
in their
were at
care.
their house.
I found out that my daughter was touched by Chris during a visit, a supervised visit with my daughter on a weekend. She came out to me and said, Daddy, I was touched by Chris. I don't want to live with them. And that just broke my heart. And I'm here today to get answers. She told me, she said, Daddy, he cuckoo, my cookie. Nikki was mean to the kids. She just always yelling and screaming at them, hitting them with brushes and stuff. But to let something like this happen to our child is not understandable, and to stay with the person that's being accused of touching our child is just even more annoying.
All right, let's bring Michael out.
Now, dude, what you gonna do?
No.
Put your hands on my kid. Hey! Put your hands on me. You put your hands on my kid. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll beat your ass.
My kid.
I'll beat your ass.
My kids, not his.
Chris, enough. Enough.
My daughter come out
That's
to me
my
about
kids.
Enough.
You're the one that walked out on them, not me.
I didn't walk
I'm the
out
one
on
that's
my
been there.
kids.
You walked away.
Enough.
You
Enough.
walked out on them.
Chris came
No, I'm
here,
done.
Chris came here, he took a lie detector test, and we asked him, have you ever touched either of Nikki's daughters for your own sexual gratification or
No.
pleasure? You answered no. Did you ever have sexual physical contact with either of Nikki's daughters?
No.
You answered no. The results came back the same to each of those questions, and it came back that Chris told the truth. Nikki took a lie detector test, and we asked her, did you ever touch your daughter for your own sexual gratification or pleasure?
No.
She answered no. Did you ever see Chris touch your daughter in a sexual manner?
No.
She answered no, and Nikki told the truth. Nikki, then we asked her about child abuse. We asked Nikki, have you ever hit any of your children using a hairbrush? She refused to answer. Did you ever try to smother any of your children with a pillow? She refused to answer.
I
And
messed
again,
up.
I'm not screaming at you, I'm just having
I
a
know,
conversation
but I'm
with
saying
you.
I messed up.
Right.
I was aggravated. There was a lot going on. There's always a lot going on.
I'm
I know-
not gonna
I
come
know.
out and say it. Get rid of the dead weight. Good luck here. Let's see what you do. If you like what you see, all new episodes are coming, and you do not want to miss out. Click subscribe now.